You can see the screen, everyone? You can see the screen, everyone?
Yes. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome.
That's all good.
Wonderful to have you here with us. Dr. Shruti Naad Proddar is a screen, everyone? Teacher.
Yes. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great.
And a
So we're ready to begin.
Vibrational healer, an educationist, a mentor, a founder, and actually the founder of something called the Shruti Foundation, a non-profit in India. Dr. Shruti is actually the founder of a method called Naad Vibronics, which is a healing ecosystem. She's going to be telling us all about it tonight, but she's also into conservation, and she's made a very special project in India to conserve Indian heritage. She's the convener of something called In Touch, Shekhawati chapter, teacher of Indic wisdom, involved with education, pedagogy, curriculum development, teacher training, grassroots development, music, and healing. She has a traditional knowledge systems focus, and she works to empower women, develop the sciences, develop villages, environment, Indian wisdom, indigenous healing, vibrational healing, motivational speaking, and also is involved in anthropology. She's the teacher of the Upanishads, the Vedic wisdom, the Sri Vidya, and other indigenous sciences and practices. This is a thought leader for our conference, Women of Truth, Revolutionizing the Future of Women's Health. We stand together as a group of 14 women who are very committed to the important job of dreaming into the future, the world we wish to create for the mothers that will be coming from here on forward. So we are working together as a panel in a year-long partnership project with Women of Truth, and we will be updating you with all of our speakers in Cyprus at a live conference in October. If we cannot do live conferences, we will do another live stream where everybody will present again 10 months after the initial conference. Dr. Shruti is our first masterclass teacher, and as I've explained, she's a vibrational healer, a mentor, and very strong in conserving the heritage of India. And her work tonight is really a masterclass teaching on a system that you might actually want to learn to complete yourself, but perhaps even learn to teach others in. She is involved in training trainers to actually use this method to build immunity and body-mind transformation. Welcome, Dr. Shruti. It's an absolute honor to have you here.
Thank you, Helen. It's wonderful to be with all of you here today. Um, I'm looking forward to sharing an entire ecosystem of application and practice, which has benefited me to such an extent that I haven't had medicines for the last 32 years of my life.
Amazing.
And the only thing I've needed in my life is water and sound or vibration or different applications of tools, vibrational tools that I have learned in my life from various Indic systems. I was very fortunate to be born in a family which already practiced chanting. So I heard chanting ever since I was born. I was kind of initiated into it ever since I was born. And luckily, I have come across deep teachings and great gurus throughout my life. So much so that I have not only been able to empower and heal myself, but also been able to empower and teach and heal people around the globe. And this has been going on since 1996. So I'm in my 25th year now. And in fact, this year, just in a couple of days, I'm starting my basic, advanced, and for the first time, teacher training classes online. And I look forward to all of you joining us in this journey of learning and healing the world together. So today, I'm here to share with you some amazing, magical revelations that I've not only had in my life, but also practiced with great success on myself and others. So, first of all, we'll begin with the word itself, Nada, because I'm going to talk about the healing ecosystem, which is called Nada Vibronics, the vibrational healing ecosystem. So, why why do we want to understand what Nada is? Because it is not about a culture; it is about who we are. So nada is a word that comes from Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a language that in which every root sound itself has a meaning which is connected with the vibration of the sound itself. So when we talk about na, we are really talking about uh, the bed of potentiality, the bed of prana, the bed through which uh, life force comes through. So as long as that bed of energy is not touched, it's like a still lake. But the moment we apply some kind of touch or force or even drop a pebble into that still lake, we get ripples and waves. So when we apply any kind of push, whether it's the push of will or the push of energy or the push of desire, anything that is applied upon the potentiality of our life force, that push, that urge, that will, we call it Agni, we call it fire, which is denoted by the word Da. Da gives you the feeling of a push. So when Da is applied on that bed of energy Na, then we get movement, we get vibration, we get energy, which we call Nada. So, in common language, nada is understood as sound, as music, but in its essence, the word nada means all that moves, all that vibrates. So, let us consider an example of science, which something you might have read in school itself. How does sound, if we consider nada to be sound, how does sound enter you? How do you retain something that you have heard? So, science tells us that sound enters you through your ears. How does it enter through your ears? It comes in the form of sound waves. It enters through the circular uh, formation into the spiral, goes into your eardrums, up to the eardrums. It cannot pass through the eardrums, but it vibrates the eardrums. That vibration converts the sound into electrical impulses. Those electrical impulses are transported to your brain through an auditory nerve. So the sound that comes through you through the medium of air gets converted into electrical impulses. Those electrical impulses get into your brain and never go out of your consciousness. They are stored in your brain forever. Anything that you hear, anything that you see, anything that you smell, anything that you taste, anything that you touch is all these things are transmitted through different channels, through your optical nerve, through your auditory nerve, through various nerves, through the five sense organs. All these stimuli, all these external stimuli, all these external inputs get converted into electrical impulses. And these electrical impulses get into your brain and stay in your brain for all time as memory. So, what is memory? Is it physical or is it non physical? And you will know in a moment why I'm talking about this. So, if we had a longer workshop, I would have done a Q&A with you. I have suddenly lost sight of all of you. Let me get back to the gallery. Yes. So, everything is stored in your brain as memory, and that is proved by hypnosis. So, under hypnosis, it has been proven that you can repeat something that you even heard in your childhood. You can recall aroma, you can recall voices, you can recall conversations, you can recall scenes that you have seen many, many, many years ago in your life under hypnosis, which means that anything that has ever gone into you has never been lost. It is only hidden from your conscious view or your conscious memory. So, how is memory stored in the brain? So, uh, is this interactive? Hellenic, can people answer? Yeah,
Sure. So,
okay.
anybody wanting to give an answer to that question? Maybe you can unmute and interact with Dr. Shruti.
So, do you know?
So is memory stored in our subconscious mind?
Uh, yeah, it is. It is in the conscious. It is in the subconscious. There are various levels at which memory is stored, but the question is, in what form is it stored?
Hmm.
Not where is it stored, but in what form is it stored? So,
I
of
would
course, today there's a debate on whether anything is physical at all. In the field of quantum physics, we say nothing is physical. But in the field of classical physics, we say things are physical. And what is the smallest unit of physicality? Say the atom, and then subatoms and leptons and protons and neutrons and quarks and so on. But if we leave that uh, more the newer development aside, if we talk about classically, if we consider the atom physical for a moment, then is memory physical or non physical? How is information stored in the brain? So, okay, any answers? Yes, Helen.
I'm going to say, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
In vibration. Taking a guess.
Okay. Well, definitely vibrations. All sound is vibration, all light is vibration. And I'll come to that in a moment. But to come back to my question, in classical, in classical, definition of matter, it was seen that sound is stored in the brain as chemicals.
Hmm.
Okay, it changes form, it becomes waves, and it becomes impulses, and then it gets stored. And it was said that it is stored in the form of chemicals. Now, what are chemicals? Are chemicals physical or non-physical? What are they made of? Chemicals are made of molecules. Molecules are made of atoms, right? In our common understanding. What are atoms? Atoms are the building blocks of your body, right? Your body is made up of atoms. Your body is made up of cells. Cells are made up of molecules and atoms. So if you're going down to the basic so-called unit of matter, then we say that the atom builds molecules, molecules build cells, and cells build tissue, and tissue builds organs, and organs build your body, and, and so on. So, if we were to go according to the classic definition, the classic scientific definition, then I'm just trying to come to the main point that I'm trying to make here. Sound, sight, touch, smell, taste are all stimuli, all inputs from your atmosphere into you. All these inputs, whatever medium they travel through, they ultimately become electrical movement, vibrational movement, and get converted into the future atom of your body. So, whatever you hear, whatever you smell, whatever you think, whatever you see, whatever you touch, whatever you taste, becomes the future atom of your body through various vibrational channels. So, vibrational inputs, every single movement is nada, because nada means movement. Whether it is movement in waves or in movement of electrical impulses, all that becomes vibrational movement out of a certain bed of energy. These vibrational movements go and get stored in you into another vibrational entity, which is an atom. An atom is not still, an atom is also a vibrational entity which is supposed to have a steady nucleus, but an electron moving at unimaginable speeds in a world within the atom. So nothing is still. Anything that exists in this universe is in constant motion, even an atom. So we are not only influenced by vibration, we are not only influenced by nada, which is the word I'm trying to explain to you, we are nada. We become nada. We keep changing our nada by the influences, by the vibrational influences, by the nada influences that we take upon ourselves, that we give to ourselves, or that we surround ourselves with. So if we choose wisely what to hear, what to speak, what to eat, what to see, what to emit, and what to receive, if we choose wisely, if we use certain vibrational tools that we can learn, then we change the nada that we are. We change the being that we are through the inputs and the outputs we give and take. Okay? So that is the basis of empowerment with nada. That is the basis. Now, given this basis, how can we learn different vibrational tools? And that is the goal of the journey that we are about to take. But to give you some insights into that journey, I'm going to start with a little music. Okay? So we have a system in India called the Indian Raga. How many of you have heard of Ragas? Yes? I see Helena saying yes. Okay. So the Indian Raga was a very elaborate system of music where every Raga had a DNA, so to say. A DNA means a law of nature. Each one of us is different according to our DNA. So every rag is different because it has a law of ascent and a law of descent. So it has a basic sonic skeletal structure around which its body is built again and again. And if you believe in the law of, if you believe in life after life, we take a raga as an analogy or as a hologram of that, then we can understand that around that basic nature, every time a composer sings a raga, keeping the law intact, he builds a different body again and again and again. So the soul of the raga remains the same, but the body changes every time that raga is given life by the creator or the singer. Yes. So I'm going to take to you maybe a couple of ragas where in a minute, less than a minute each, and seek your inputs on how you feel when you hear a certain short composition which will have no words. I will just sing without words so that it is free of culture and literature, etc. Ragas are supposed to be sung at different times of the day, which means they have an atmospheric quality. So it can be a morning raga or an evening raga or a night raga. But what does that mean? When we say atmospheric quality, we also have atmospheres within us. We have morning within us, We have evening within us, we have night within us. So it can mean two things. It can mean something that we see visually. It can also mean something that we feel sensorially. So if you feel morning, how would you feel? You would feel a sense of rising energy. You would feel a sense of awakening energy. You might feel calm, but you might still feel a rising energy. The sense of dusk or the sense of setting, the sense of being relaxed, lounging after a hard day, the sense of spending time with loved ones can be an evening raga. Who are more sensitive visual, you would actually
Dr. Shruti, if you
try
can,
and demonstrate something to you.
we are
And
losing your sound, so maybe it's because you're about to boot something, but we've lost you a little bit. You can all still hear me? Mm-hmm. So I think the Wi-Fi is cutting out while she's trying to boot that little bit. So I will tell you why I invited Dr. Shruti to this event. Basically, you've understood now that she has very deep knowledge on sound and vibration. And I think we might be back able to hear you again. Let's try that again. Carrying on.
yes, can you hear me?
Yes, all good now.
Wonderful. We lost each other. Basically, what I said was every time of day and atmospheric quality. You feel it sensorially, a sense of rising for the morning, a sense of settling down, relaxing with loved ones for the evening, or a sense of deep silence, deep meditation, which could be a night rug. So I don't know if you heard that before, but that's what I said last. And I'm going to demonstrate a few rugs to you. And since I've already done things like this all over the world, and irrespective of where you come from, I see very similar reactions. So I'm hoping we'll achieve the same today. And so here we go. It'll just be a minute each. And I look forward to your feelings and reactions. Okay. So this is the first one. So carefully see kind of energy or what kind of visual you feel when you hear it. Mm. So that's one. That's one rag. Any reactions? Yes, Helena, you want to say something? Yes.
Yes, I found that very powerful. I actually felt very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel the energies very strong in the palms of my hands pulsating. So I felt like it was connected from my heart space, that it was some kind of a release, maybe a cry, very emotional experience.
I think
Can't you?
Can't hear you again.
Mm.
can you hear me?
We can hear
Another
you.
problem? Can you hear you? Yeah, you can hear me? Okay.
Can hear you now.
So did you feel a kind of release and a kind of awakening energy or a kind of sleeping energy? Did you feel awake? Did you feel a release of, a kind of uplifting energy? What kind of energy did you feel?
For me, it felt more emotional, like a release, like a release.
Okay, fine, fine. That's good. Wants to
Thank you.
say something? All good? I don't know. What is
So this sometimes just happens with, sometimes through India, it's really far away. Sometimes it's just the state of affairs, tech as we know it. So if you are patient enough, we can get through some of this. As you can see, it's all live. So Dr. Shruti's going in and out to try and get her connection to boost. So I'm sorry about this, but I think you can all begin to understand the brilliance of this woman. And more than this, she's actually teaching these Vibronics and the whole ecosystem in different stages and different processes. And she's actually also performing using this very deep consciousness as a medical doctor of how these sound frequencies are affecting the vibrational field. And some of you know, I'm a drummer and a sacred sound therapist. So I really was excited to find her and her work and the depth at which she's teaching, and that she's a woman teaching is very profound gift for all of us, really, to include her in the Women of Truth work and community and events that we're busy with. So I'll tell you a little bit about her training course, which is in fact happening in 5 days time. So it's on the 15th of the month. She'll tell you a bit more about it herself. But the actual training is for you to learn the system and then to begin to actually work with these fascinating techniques of healing with various vibrational applications on various levels and planes of the human mind and body for empowering and healing oneself, and also beginning to actually teach this globally. So obviously, Dr. Shruti is at a point where she wants to leave this as a legacy, and she wants to disseminate that leadership out, distribute it out into the world. And her teachings are already global, but of course, they've been in person. So now she's joined us so that we can also help her make it more online and more available to more people. So it's a real opportunity. I'm explaining the course, Dr. Shruti, just so people have more information. Please carry on. We're listening with bated breath.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Knowledge is best when it's shared. And, I'm really looking forward to having more and more people not only empower themselves, but also use it as an opportunity because the more you share, the more you empower yourself. So sharing and teaching and mentoring is an act uh, of of greater uh, beauty and power even to yourself. Because if you don't share your mind, if you're like a which ultimately reaches the ocean, extremely important to share. And so yes, like Helnik said, we are beginning our journey on the 15th, and we look forward to all of you with us um, for the 6-day course, which from 15th to 20th. And then after a gap of about
Isn't it interesting how this information is just drip feeding to come through? It's very interesting energetically when you look at that, like very important primordial universal truth here, and it's being drip fed.
the other thing I wanted to specify that you do not have to be a singer to do this course. Of course, I demonstrated a piece of music to you, but that's a very small, that's only a small moment of the entire course. This is just to give you an aspect of the Indian raga. When you're teaching, you can always use a recording. You don't have to sing yourself. The greater part of the learning is to many the science of mudras, the sound. You don't have to be a singer at all. Learn
Happening
knowledge of the language. It doesn't require knowledge of Sanskrit. It doesn't require knowledge of anything except the sound itself. So there's an entire science of sound which is based on the understanding of how the vocal anatomy corresponds with the rest of the body. How, when you utter a sound, you utter it with your entire vocal anatomy being like a percussion instrument. So you have the Sanskrit letters, the Sanskrit alphabet are very scientifically designed, where the first line of consonants are gutturals, and so like g, 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 are all here, or lines like b, h, or palatals, th, the, th. You have a whole hum. Am I back? Can you hear me? Yes? Eleni, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, we can hear you again now. Go ahead.
Demonstrate mantras. I don't know if you could hear me, but what I was, am I there or have you lost me again?
Yes, I can hear
So,
you. Didn't hear the mantra. We're just going to drip feed this, and I'm going to speak while you go off and explain some of what you're saying, and then when you come back, you just qualify.
yes.
That's the only way we're going to get through. So please just keep going ahead. It's fine. We can hear you good now.
In fact, these are some of the most powerful technologies that we have in our Indian sonic sciences, and in fact, our sonic sciences are so developed in many, many practices of Indian culture, from the Hatha Yoga cultures. Each one of these systems uses sound very, very powerfully to heal the body. Not to heal the body, but to harmonize and give great power to the body and to the mind to transform yourself and your environment. Seed sounds or bija mantras, which I was just demonstrating to you, make you change your environment, you need to imagine. And your mind. So I was demonstrating, I don't know if you heard me, like, but for instance, the most powerful sound and the most extremely simple sound that we have used through COVID to prevent ourselves from any kind of viral infection is simply the sound hum. So I'm sharing that with you today so that you can use it already. So the sound hum is connected to the Vishuddhi chakra. You might have studied chakras already. At the root, the Vishuddhi chakra, which is not only connected to the organs of your throat, but is connected to the psychosomatic parts of your being, connected to many emotions in yourself, but it has a direct impact on bacteria and viral and any kind of ailments you have in this area. Chant sound again, and particularly a seed sound, an ordered seed sound, then what it does is it creates a lot of heat in a particular area, and vibrational intensity kills the negative influences in that area. Fire purifies. So sound, repetition of sound, japa, achieves that locally in targeted areas. So the whole technology of healing vibrations, whether it is sonic vibrations or other kinds of visual therapies, visual techniques that we have in Sri Vidya and in the Shakti techniques, there's a whole range, there's a whole ocean of practice, which of course we do as we go along. But all these targeted practices of intensifying energy at a particular point just by vibrational methodologies help us to eliminate disharmony, lack of balance, negative influences, negative onslaughts upon our being, whether they are bacteria or viral or onslaughts of vibrational disturbances through transformers, through microwaves, through cellular waves, all kinds of waves that we act with every day of our lives. So certain techniques, certain sounds, certain repetitions of sounds or other vibrational techniques help us to make our internal energy powerful than the energies affecting us. When your personal energies become stronger than the other onslaughts on you, then you become a yogi. The definition of the yogi is the one who is so still that his energy becomes powerful than the energy of the surrounding universe. And when your energy becomes more powerful than the energy around you, then you are unaffected by the infinite onslaughts. So that's the science of vibrational healing. And we are so fortunate that we have been gifted a chance to learn and share. So, as I was demonstrating, since the last 32 years, I have cured myself of any kind of irritation, any kind of budding infection in my throat just by the single sound, which is the sound of hum repeated. So, just like you give yourself a medicinal dose 3 or 4 times a day, you can give yourself a vibrational dose through the sound, and that will be your vibrational medicine, and you won't need anything else. So the sound is, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but the sound is hung, hung, hung. So I don't know if Zoom is cutting off the hum at the end, or are you hearing the entire sound?
We heard
Please
the hum
let.
3 times. Very, very beautiful, very powerful. And we all started smiling.
So use that. You will find that if you repeat this at least 9 or 12 times at a time, you will find the throat becoming a bit heated up and energized, and you will find any kind of irritation or any kind of, feeling of sickness or anything like that slowly dissolving. The way of vibrational healing is that you don't kill anything with aggression, you just slowly dissolve things, slowly but surely. So that's where we are. There are many, many other techniques, and there isn't enough time to share them today. I don't know how much time we have. Maybe we have a few minutes. So, of course, there's a whole technology, there's a whole science of Om, which you might have heard of. I don't consider Om a religious sound. It has been pushed into the window of religion, but Om is an energy. There's a particular way of chanting it. It's a sound that's wide, narrows, and as it narrows, there's a technique by which the sound goes up and vibrates here in your third eye region. It's a technique which helps the reversal of energy from your the lower parts or planes of body or being to the head and to the crown. Mostly our energy when we uh, in our daily lives, our energy move outward and downward. But when you go into a yogic practice, your energy goes inward and upward. So if I was to give an analogy of that, it's the difference between being a light bulb and a laser beam. So when you take your energy inward and upward, the energy gets so focused that you can. But so that's the reason and the technologies that we use are aimed towards creating that inner intensity and inner focus, so that with very, very simple techniques, very, very simple applications, you are able to achieve amazing things. Very, very simple. Remember, life is simple, ways are simple, solutions are simple if we just care to become still. Running around, creating a lot of talk, creating a lot of complicated solutions, having a lot of medicine is not going to do us any good, because the divine did not make this world to make it complicated. It's the human evolving mind in its own search which is making life complicated. So if we come back to our primordial selves, we will find better solutions for the future. And that's the aim of our journey. So I think I'll pause here, Hellenique, and invite any questions or comments that people might have. Yes? Hellenique, I can't hear you. Sorry.
If we come back to our primordial selves, we will find better solutions for the future. Yeah? Is that right?
Primordial energy, yes. It could be sound or other applications of vibrational energy, vibrational methodologies. Yes.
Tell us a little bit, Dr. Shruti, about the actual course and how much people learn to apply, and then how does it work or translate into becoming a train the trainer type
Yes.
course as well?
Course is highly experiential. It basically concentrates on learning. Of course, it gives written matter. It gives you knowledge. It gives you basis of what you're learning, because otherwise, just learning applications without understanding the depth of what you're doing, it would be too shallow, and we want you to go deep. We want you to understand where we are coming from. We want you to go to the depth of the spirit of what you're doing, not just the technical application, because every plane of your being must be involved in your practice. So we have a very integral approach where we deal with simultaneously with different parts of the being in the practice. So the important thing is that there is understanding, there is cognition, there is application, there is practice, there is interaction, and through this process, we end up learning things that empower our lives every single moment, that can become a part of our practice every single day, that you will find results within days of learning. You will see the difference in your life, in your emotions, in the way your mind feels and works, and of course on your body. You will start see these differences within a few days, if not within a few hours. And then as we go along the course and further into the advanced course, you will learn various other techniques. We will also try to achieve some kind of long distance travel online. We normally do it when we are physically together. This is the first time we'll attempt it online, but I'm sure we'll achieve the same. So at some point remember that we Indians believe a lot in fuzzy logic, even though it's a Western term. And so I never try to create a grid curriculum. I always say, if I feel you're ready, then we will go on a journey. So something that is esoteric cannot be clubbed into a grid. So that there are times when we feel intuitively that the group is ready, and then we have an experience. So I never make it a rigid part of the curriculum, but it's an unspoken part of the curriculum. And more often, in fact, most of the time, we do go through certain very special experiences when we feel people are ready, when we feel people have enough faith and trust. The underlying, the underlying, the bedrock of everything that will help you to evolve is surrender, faith, and trust. So we have to go with that. And as you go along, you will learn various techniques from various practices, inspired by various practices, but evolved by me through years of exploration and application. So what we offer in the course is an amalgamation of practices from many ways of practice in the Indic traditions, uh, but a deeper sense of the essence of many of these things, which may be in different practices but have similar essences. So what we are doing will be unique, will be focused for the development of the different planes and parts, not only of your physiological being, but your psychological, emotional, and mental being. And when I say mental, I don't mean brain, I mean the different levels of mind. And so we will also learn about the different levels of mind and how they work, right from your outer cognitive mind to the Vijnanamaya Purush, which I won't define now, intuitive mind, analogical mind, the mind that has clairaudience and clairvoyance and so on. So many levels of mind. So in a nutshell, I can only say that it's a journey of sharing, it's a journey of experience, it's a journey of revelations, it's a journey of transformation.
Sounds incredible, really, and very aligned with a lot of what we're doing in this very important partnership together with many women, is to look at so many new ways and ancient ways and polarized ways that facilitate health, healing, and well-being, and also to be able to make very powerful the future that we are facing, because I think there's a lot of people pulled into the concern, the worry, the anxiety, the fear. And with techniques like this one, we can totally reprogram or strongly intend and give ourselves incredible support to make a really beautiful future happen. And the more people doing that, the more we create this tipping point to actually dream in a new world. And I'm very, as I keep telling you, excited, enamored, honored to be working with you in this way and to put this forward. Tell us as well about the festival in India in February. I don't know if the women know yet, but you run a hotel that is actually a heritage site, and you're running a festival there every year. And we are going to get there as Women of Truth at some point, maybe not this year, but soon.
Yes, indeed.
Tell us about it so we're a bit more informed.
So we are planning to have the festival from 12th to 14th February. Normally, it's not a live streaming festival. It's a physical festival in what I call the Wonderland of Heritage, because I say in within 3 kilometers you can go back with 2,000 photographs. There is so much heritage. There's so many wall paintings. There are so many narratives on the walls. There is such beautiful architecture. And I discovered this about 7 years ago, and I was committed to saving this heritage. So that's why I came here and restored a Haveli, a courtyard villa, and it's a heritage hotel, and it's also been branded a healing hotel of the world by a German company, because we offer a very special form of healing. We also have so many experts of Ayurveda who teach you how to make your own creams for healing and your own Ayurvedic medicine. In fact, we also make very special capsules which cure UTI, which cure joint pains. So there's a whole range of my own products now, which I have learned from local wisdom and I've applied on myself, and they work wonders, much better than any allopathic or homeopathic medicine or any kind of other medicine I've tried in my life. So I've been greatly enriched by my work at the grassroots with heritage, and I really look forward to all of you coming here and all of us exploring together, chanting together, living together, eating together, and so on. So until you can do that, you can experience it online. So at the festival, our plan is there will be one strain, one track, which will record what we are doing at this site during the festival. So our heritage walk, you'll be able to see online. You'll be able to see, hear the experts who are speaking here with us. But we are also inviting you as healers, as with your own, fields of expertise. We are inviting you to also join us, to register, to book your slot as a giver of knowledge, as a healer, as a speaker on a particular aspect of heritage or culture or healing. So we are inviting registrations for the entire world to be with us at the conference, particularly if you want to be part of a panel or part of or give an individual workshop yourself. So we will be sharing the details in just a few days, the entire format, and I request Hellenique to share that with all of you. And I look forward to all of you participating, joining us, having fun, and also sharing knowledge. So that's a little bit, just a little bit, and it's called Vedaranya is a name I've given this entire habitat and all that we do. It's a metaphor, but Vedaranya means the Vedic forest. So it's not a Vedic forest, but the Vedic forest means uh, an infinite variety of experiences. And when I say Vedic, it means something that is holistic, something that is unifying, something that gives us an evolutionary core. So that's why I call it the Vedic, and forest is a field, is an infinite field of possibility. So that's why the name Vedaranya. And so it's called the Vedaranya Heritage and Healing Festival. And in short, it becomes VHAH, so we call it the VAFest. So in short, that's what the festival is called, and we've been doing it since December 2016. This is our fifth edition of the festival, and for the first time, it will be live and online. And I look forward to all of us being together and to creating a world community which can then come back physically with us and work with us in developing this microcosm of beauty and excellence. So,
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone on the live stream and everyone else that's still here. We're going to have some questions and answers and just any more pointers you want from Dr. Shruti, maybe just some details still. And you can catch us next Monday. We will have another expert thought leader presenting on the future of women's health. And remember what we said, we are all dreaming in a future for women's health, and we are working together in this partnership to bring in the solutions, the creative problem solving, and the new vision for a new world. And we do have enough of a critical mass to make that happen. And I would love you to be a part of it if you're resonating and you would like some more support or some encouragement or some positive vibrations. You can count on us. We are in your corner and I'm at your service. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next